talked to him, and in fact, he was in one of those bands from the 60s up in Woodstock called the Versatiles. And his name is Strosnider, and he's standing right here, and he has written this really cool book. I'm good. And these posters right here, he's got on the side. Go with that slideshow who have been watching. That's all the players in the valley who have passed away. So I'd like you to help me bring to this microphone and tell you about this book and some stuff that I don't know. And this is from Roanoke, Virginia. This is Steve Strosnider.
I can never leave this venue without saying hi. No, but I'm just afraid that, you know, when, because I think everybody's started over there, and I think Ronnie was really honest, but what a great show.
When we were doing research on this book, we were able to identify 59 different musicians from Stanton and Winchester who passed away. And those folks are listed on these posters that are here on
And
the
then to see
stage.
Terry and Scott and them getting the band back together, that's kind of exciting.
And with all due respect to everyone, I'm going to just talk about several of these individuals that were not in the Winchester area. And maybe you might have heard of these folks, maybe not. But nevertheless, they were very integral in the whole development of rock and roll in the Shenandoah Valley. The first is Eddie Lee Clatterbug. This was a rockabilly kind of guy who went from country music to rock music and was integral in the development of the rock and roll movement in the Harrisonburg area. Eddie Lee Clatterbug. He was a consummate frontman, a real entertainer.
I feel like that old 60s stuff.
Next is Lou DeWitt from the Statler Brothers. Who remembers the Statler Brothers? Most people are here. That's good. Lou DeWitt was the one who sang high tenor and played the guitar. And he passed away here several years back.
It's always so beautiful.
The next name is Wando Howard, the first African-American entertainer, singer who played with her white band in the Wadesboro area.
Yeah, we did. We had
Next, Bobby Supinger, who went with the stage name of Bobby Scott. A very good vocalist who played with the popular band, the Top Hats in Harrisonburg. Next is Butch Clark. This is an individual that I had the privilege of playing with for a number of years through high school, through elementary school. Butch was a very, very talented guitarist, and he played at a very high level with a number of country bands. Played with Jamboree. Butch unfortunately faced a challenge with mental illness throughout his life and passed away. But one is left to wonder what he could have done if he would not have had this affliction. Butch Clark. Ronnie Reedy of the Lasers in Harrisonburg. The Lasers had the distinction of playing the last night of the Rafters that it brought. He was a very, very talented guitarist.
Are you leaving?
Tommy Emmerich.
It's a great show.
Happened to be a first cousin of mine. Strasburg, Virginia. Probably the first rock and roll drummer in the Shenandoah Valley. Ernie Curlin of a band called the Disciples of Sound. He was a bass player for them. He passed away, but he also had the distinction of being the voice of the Newmarket Rebels, the baseball player. Larry May, who was an organist and a good vocalist with the Top Hats. So just listen to you, just to list it for you, just several folks here that are worthy of note. But I do appreciate your support with the book, and so have a good time, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.
But it's a good story. Who has been to the Winchester Teenage Club when there was a Winchester Teenage Club? And we could not wait to go to the building, right? So how old do you get to be when you get to go to the building? It's a teenage club, that's a hint. 13! You're a teenager when you're 13. Before that you were? Wow! So, Virginia Avenue School, right here. And 5th grade taking band. So I'm around all this stuff. We get the hang of it in the fundamental days. So we go to Hanley, and all of a sudden, hey, we're going to have a good story here for a second. Is that Bob White? We're going to have a good old story here, and we go to Hanley, and my gosh, you're in the 6th grade, and you're going up there for a short time, and then you become a 7th grader, and guess what you're doing? You're going to school with adults. They're seniors and juniors, my God, and you know what they do? They drive cars, they date women, they smoke cigarettes, and here we are in the 7th grade. We are children going to school with adults. That's when somebody came up with the idea of middle school. Good idea. So, I get to be 12, and then I get to be 13. And I could not wait to go to the cat club. So one night I heard, would you believe, one night I heard who was playing, and I had to go. And it was a black band. And I'd never heard a live band of any color. So I go in there, and oh my gosh, it was the sweetest sound I had ever heard, and it was live. So I'm on this side of the stage, and I went out there with Ricky Boyce and Dennis Derry. Anybody remember them? Ricky Boyce and Dennis had his license. He's Ricky Boyce's first cousin. Now we're going at Plymouth Fury. Dennis, get off the gas. So we're 13 years old now. Here's all these adults in this teenage club. And this music, I mean, I could have been swept up off my feet and just carried into that building. And I'm on that side of the stage and I'm watching. I'm on that side of the stage and I'm watching. And this drummer, he was sitting on an old suitcase. Not a drum throne like Norman Manners got here, but a suitcase. And that's what he carried the sticks in, and that's what the poor fella sat on to play. But could he play? And Lucian Bannister was out in the front. And boy was he good playing bass and singing, and these songs that they were doing were just the greatest thing. But then something caught my eye. In and amongst all these black guys up there singing the sweetest music I'd ever heard, here's this white kid playing organ. I had seen him in school. Tall guy. I mean, he was 6 foot and some more. And that guy's name, I would later learn, was Hugh Brent. And Hugh Brent fit right in as if he was one of them. And my esteem for that guy that I had seen in school went from pretty high to real high. And I got to know him, and in fact, 2 years after that night, I would have the high honor of playing for that 6 months in Brutus and the Romans along with Hugh Brent. How many other Romans do we have in this room tonight? How many? Raise your hand if you were a former Roman. Norman, I know you're in here somewhere. But there was about 4 or 5 of them in here tonight that I've seen, and I'm proud to have been one of them. And Hugh Brent showed us all how to have a rock and roll band. He really did. And his legacy has been kept alive. Where were you when I asked for a Roman to put his hand up? Let me digress for just a second. These drums we're using tonight belong to a young fellow by the name of Jimmy Mann. And I first heard Jimmy Mann playing when I was about 10 or 11 years old, Fairview Avenue. Anybody know where Fairview Avenue is? We lived in on that end right down there, and Norman Mann and his brother and his mother lived right up here on the other end. And I'd walk by Norman's house going to Jerry's Grocery. Everybody's been to Jerry's Grocery. And all of a sudden, I'm 12, and I hear Jimmy Mann playing. And it's summertime, and the windows are up. Who had air conditioning then? And I sat on that curb, and I listened to Jimmy Mann playing drums until he wouldn't play them anymore, or until Norman's mother would come out and run me off. And Norman, thank you for letting us have those drums tonight. Norman inherited because his brother Jimmy got killed in a car accident.
Wow.
And he was one of the best. And now Norman became one of the best. We thank you, Norman, for letting us play yours and Jimmy's drums. Now, we didn't bring it out because it's kind of special. Norman handed me this snare drum today. It was in a case and everything, and he brought it out from his house. Had it in his hand like it was some kind of gold nugget. He said, Gary, I don't let anybody play this drum, but I'll let you play it. That's special. That's special, Mark. So, Hugh Brent's legacy has been carried forth for years and years and years. And poor old Hugh, he died in a car accident in 1980 while serving this country with the State Department overseas. But the guy who has kept his spirit alive in this town of Winchester is with us right here tonight. And that is his little brother, Giles Brent. Stand up, Giles. Stand up. Giles Brent, right there. Now, we're going to all play up here just one more second. Let me tell you something about when Hugh and I were practicing at your house. It got late, and I'm new with his arrangements and everything, and it got to be about 11 o'clock. And it's a weeknight. We're going to be over in Hagerstown in about a day or two, so the family went to bed. And they're all gone. It's just Hugh and I downstairs. And I said, Hugh, I could really use the bathroom. And he said, we have been here a while. I said, yeah. He says, but you know, we only got that one bathroom and it's upstairs. And I don't want to wake the people up. I said, okay, what are we going to do? He says, let's go outside. We got these bushes, and I do it all the time. Nobody ever sees us. When in Rome, so we go outside and we get ourselves all situated, and we're taking great aim to not get each other's shoes wet. And all of a sudden, it is so beautiful. And I'm standing there like this, and I said, gee whiz, Hugh, it sure is nice out. And Huey looks down, he says, yep, I think I'll leave it out. That's your brother. Well, we're going to get ready to play. Are you ready to move? We better. Thank you for indulging my little stories right there.